D&D Davis and Liveweatherblogs.com overnight edition. We're going to start tonight with the prospects for severe weather. These maps right here are prepared by Mike DeFino, which is one of our meteorologists here at Liveweatherblogs.com. These maps are credited to him. He put his own drawings into this. I'm going to go into the forecasting on why tomorrow might be interesting around here, not just in the Roanoke Valley, but the southeast. It's looking like we're going to have some severe weather possibly in the Roanoke Valley tomorrow based on a few things. The Cape's going to be high, and we're going to have the jet stream sinking further south than it normally does. Um, Large hail and high winds are going to be your main threats. An isolated tornado may also occur. And let's start off. We're trying to throw in here where the jet stream is, and it's kind of in this predicament right here. It's pretty far south. We're gonna have some warmer, moist air inside of the area, and because of the lift on the mountains, also that might help get those storms actually going. And the MCSs, some of the MCSs tonight that come off here. So there's a few reasons why we might have that. Up here also in Montana, in North Dakota and South Dakota, may have elevated tornado risk. Then on Sunday, the whole East Coast, I would say, is pretty much from North York City south under the risk for severe weather. And then the tornado risk highest is going to be in the Dakotas and Minnesota. But you're going to see a lot of lift in this atmosphere on the East Coast. And as I said, we can easily pull out large hail damaging winds, and I would not rule out tornadoes. We're going to get more information later on tonight. Into tomorrow, we'll put out a new forecast. But these are basically, this is the best map for the description. I usually use the Storm Prediction Center, but I say why not use a map created by our own liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist, and Mike DeFino does good maps. So if you haven't looked at his blog, please do. It's a good blog. He's good at severe weather and writing and forecasting. Also, he's a good forecaster. Also here at liveweatherblogs.com. So go ahead and take a look at that. You see our front will be like so. This is what's going to drive the probability of stronger and severe thunderstorms down south, and this is definitely going to drive some severe weather. You see, it clears out and gets drier air moving into the valley. We may actually have a derecho area that may develop out in the Midwest. I mean, I'm not going to be saying it will, but just looking at this forecast model, it's very evident it's going to be a long-range Boeing segment going across the couple states. So we have to really look into that over the next few days. Looking at over through day 7, you'll see where this is going, what we're looking for here. Front progressing east, stalling out around day 6, which I would say thunderstorms and showers and thunderstorms will be likely during day 6 and day 7, middle next week in the greater Roanoke Valley, Richmond, West Virginia, the Delaware Valley. And then 7 days from now, secondary front, still keeping this percentage chances for thunderstorms in the Midwest, also going to become pretty active. So something we have to really look forward to with weather in the next 7 days. Taking a look at the tropics, we're actually starting to heat up a little bit here. We got some areas that could possibly develop. We have a wide area out here near the all the way out near Africa, and we also got some in the Caribbean. So something we got to take a look at. We'll take a look at the satellite picture now. One area for disturbance is going to be right here. You see how that is? There's definitely a tropical wave sitting in here, and that's going to move in this general direction, west-northwest. This could be getting into some favorable environment, especially now that you see there's not really a whole lot of dry air. There's a lot of actual area in here that's not being sheared. The closest shear would be up here, and it's going to drop over here. So it's going to get into a better environment, and we could see some development over the next 24 to 36 hours, maybe 48 hours. We'll have to keep an eye on this one. And there's another system way out here off Africa. It's kind of hard to see on this one, but it's coming into the picture. That will have a little rougher time with the dry air, the dry dust still coming out of Africa, but it's also moistening up much more now than it was last week. We were really dry out there last week, and we actually have some some room to play with now. As you were putting this in motion, as I said, it could take a little bit of time. You can see some shearing, but it might take a little time. But I think these two really need to be watched for further development. Um, as soon as some of this shear breaks off, this could be in a really good position. I would even watch this over here. Has an interesting flare up thunderstorms, and also this wave out here. This may be the best bet. Basing that the dry air is retreating on this satellite image, so there's enough moisture we could get some storms going. We also have to watch like these flare ups here. All these flare ups are starting to come about. We're getting into August, which is going to spike up the hurricane season because September 10th is your height of hurricane season. So we might be very active in the next week. Like we were saying a little while ago, this is actually a investigation. You can see this is where it's located. It's right around 10 north, which is right where it needs to be. It's going to move above it, and you can see most of these computer models keep it in the general location of either getting it into the Caribbean or getting it closer to Florida, and this is a long ways out, and something could affect it adversely. But these are the models, and they're pretty stuck together of what they want to say here. A lot of them are saying, you know, it does continue the system west-northwest. Bringing your attention to one of the models here. Take a look at this right there. This is 144 hours out. This is one of the models. I'm gonna go through a few of them. I guess it's the end of the right there, but 144 hours out. This thing is developed. We'll look at another computer model. Last one was a CMC model. This is the GFDL model. Tries to show some development, but it's widely scattered development. The GFS also pulls this model. It develops it very slowly, very weak, compared to the CMC model, but you can see there actually it does develop it slowly. This is the HWRF model. This thing really could develop this sucker over the next while. I mean, it develops it pretty good into a hurricane actually by the time it gets north of the island. So there's like 2 or 3 models that are pointing that way right now. So for a tropical situation, I would keep an eye on in the next few days. Stay with Bob, myself, and everybody here at Liveweatherblogs.com. We'll surely keep you updated on that situation. Now going into our forecast here in the Roanoke Valley, this beautiful weekend looking like it's going to come up. 85 degrees tomorrow, 30% chance thunderstorms, some may be severe. High winds and hail is the main threat. 85 degrees, 84 on Sunday, chance of thunderstorms, same type of storms as tomorrow. 88 on Monday, back to the 90s on Tuesday and warming up. 93 on Wednesday. So we're going to get back into the heat a little bit, but not as humid, so it won't feel as bad as it's done the last few weeks, but we'll definitely be feeling some heat. Other than that, this is D&D Davison for Liveweatherblogs.com. This is the overnight edition. We'd like to thank you for watching and have a great evening, and we'll back on tomorrow. Have a great weekend.